Internet, my name is Lave and I watched American Animals, which is directed by Bart Layton, who also directed the excellent documentary The Imposter, which if you haven't seen, I highly recommend you do. It's one of those shocking documentaries which leaves you saying, I can't believe this is all true. And he's at it again with his feature film debut, which as the film starts tells us it's not based on a true story, it is a true story about 4 middle-class American students who decided to steal valuable books from a university library back in 2004. So I was really looking forward to this one because the trailer looked super slick and it's got a great cast of young emerging talent in Evan Peters, who you might recognise as Quicksilver from the X-Men films, and Barry Keoghan, the kid from Dunkirk and A Killing of a Sacred Deer. I didn't recognise the other 2 actors, but all 4 of them deliver terrific performances. For the most part, they are your normal everyday guys who have this idea which grows into this fantasy adventure for them, promising them escape from the banality of their lives. White people problems, am I right? At the start, they're not particularly unlikable, but they're never really likeable either. I wasn't ever rooting for these characters. I mean, they're idiots. Their actions are not justified in the slightest, but it is terrifically acted and their performances feel completely genuine. And when they begin their heist, they don't know what they're doing, so you can sense the panic and the stress in their voices which strain and crack under the pressure. It's so realistic and tense without being over extravagant like Michael Mann's Heat, for example. The film is simultaneously grounded but also very surreal, which is something I want to discuss a little bit later on in this review. As I say, the beginning of the film, it's like a fantasy for them at first. It's all hearsay. It's like they're planning their own movie heist. They even research it by watching heist movies and they give themselves code names like they do in Reservoir Dogs. So this film has an ultra-layered meta quality to it. It even adopts the tropes of heist movies with split-screen montages and a cool soundtrack which gets interrupted when they change the radio station. I thought that was a nice way to break the tension. But there is another side to this movie which some might consider a spoiler. As a general rule of thumb, I always say that if it's in the trailer then it's fair game for me to talk about it, and this aspect of the film is not mentioned in the trailer. It has been heavily publicised and isn't really a spoiler. I'm just covering my own back for any trolls out there saying, oh, you spoiled the film. So for now, I will say that's my thoughts on American Animals, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. Now, what makes this film even more unique is that the director has spliced the movie with a documentary, with interviews with the real people, which I've got to be honest, takes some getting used to. I've got real mixed feelings about it. Honestly, I've been backwards and forwards thinking about it all night, asking myself, did it genuinely help the movie and make it better? I think separating them, this movie on its own would still be excellent and fascinating, and it would have made an interesting documentary. Together, yeah, I think elements of it does work. I think it does add depth and context to it, and I genuinely felt like the real people showed signs of remorse. So that aspect of the film really works, and I really like the fact that it takes this kind of memoir type feeling to it. We're like traveling through their memories, so you get to see different versions of their memories. That's really interesting. But I can't say that it didn't draw me out of the film a couple of times, especially in a couple of scenes where the real people are talking to the characters. It's just a bit weird, but then at the same time I hugely admire the director for taking that risk. If anything, this film is utterly unique. I definitely think you should go and see it, and I think my impression of it is going to get better with more viewings. So thanks very much for watching my review of American Animals. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought about it. Did the documentary add-ons help it or not help it in your opinion? Let me know down in the comments. And as always, thanks very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give this video a like, and don't forget to share the Lave. Subscribe.